The new Smith & Wesson Shield is exactly the way it always should have been. In this video, we're going to be going over all the new features with it, along with comparing the old and the new, trying to help you decide if you should upgrade or if you're fine with keeping the old one. Well, it appears Smith & Wesson is listening to us because they made exactly what a lot of us have been asking for here with the new Smith & Wesson X. We're going to be going over the new features like the brand new frame, newer slide, and some of the other nice features. And the one feature that they removed from this old Shield that I wish they would have kept on this one, that is kind of frustrating. So this is not my full review because I've not had 1,000 rounds through this gun yet. I just got this gun in from Smith & Wesson, and I wanted to get you guys a good first looks video, my initial opinion on this gun before we got into that. So let's just go over, not waste your time, and go over all the new features on this. The biggest and most notable change is the grip length. You now have a flush 13 round magazine compared to your flush 10 round magazine in your original Shield. And you have a 15 round magazine that you can put in here that has the extension if you would like to go that route or if you have a little bit longer of a grip. Now going along with the grip, another big change is the grip thickness. You can tell a huge difference between the two. I'll be showing you a bunch of B-roll here side by side of showing you that. But for those of you that have a little bit bigger of hands, you might not really care about this and you might not even like this, but those with the smaller hands or like to have a little bit thinner of a grip and more comfort, this is gonna be a big change and a really big change for me, and I'm really happy to see this one. Along with that thinner grip, you have a deeper cut here in the back that allows you to get a better grip on that gun, and it does help out with some recoil. You have a larger trigger guard for gloved fingers, no difference with the trigger, no difference with the magazine release. And then for some reason, they took away the texture right here in the middle, which is a big loss in my mind, which we'll discuss a little bit more later of why I think that's such a big problem. And I wish they wouldn't have taken that off of the original one, which has a lot of that texturing up there for a better grip. But you can really tell they're mirroring that Bodyguard handgun, which goes along with the new slide. So that slide cut looks a lot like the Bodyguard 2.0, which is nice. It's a very nice slide cut. The slide serrations that they chose are very usable. They look great. They have some new sights, RMSC cut for the optic, and you now have an accessory rail up front to be able to put your Streamlight flashlights instead of having to rock these ones that are like molded to it. That they just look a little odd. Like they don't look as nice. They're usually not as many lumens. Being able to actually have that rail on the bottom is a big change, which a lot of people have been asking for. Real quickly for transparency, let's get into my relationship with Smith & Wesson. They did send me this gun. I did not spend my own money on it. Now let's get into the companies that are incredibly helpful for the things that we do here before we get into the full breakdown of this gun. Stopbox and Vertex are two big supporters of the channel and things we do here. Firearm safety is so important to me. That's why I built the vault room here with hold-up display. And with the Stopbox, you're able to have quick access to your tools when you need it, but you have the peace of mind knowing that your children don't have access to those same tools. Very cool device. Also, Vertex are the bags I've been carrying for over 5 years. Love their stuff. Tons of accessories and options. They also have a bunch of clothes that I wear. Love their things. Tactical Advisor will save you 15% on your order of bags or clothing off of Vertex. Thank you to both these companies. Show them some love. Let's get right back into the video. All right, let's get right into this. This grip is a huge win in my books and a really big upgrade that I think is gonna get a lot more people into the Shield platform. One of the reasons I didn't carry the Shield that much is I just didn't like the thickness of its grip. I thought it was a little bigger than what I would have liked, especially when you had guns like the Hellcat, the Shaky Sig, or the Sig, sorry, the Glocks. Their grips are just a little bit thinner and they fit my hand a lot better. This right here absolutely nailed it for me because I'm a big fan of Smith & Wesson. I think they make great guns, but the Shield just wasn't one for me. Now, the M&P 2.0 and the Carry Comps, amazing full-size guns, but anything less than that, anything for more compact carry, I was carrying these other brands. But now, this is really gonna make a run for a carry gun for me just because of this new upgrade, the capacity, and the feel of this gun. You can really tell that they modeled this after the Bodyguard 2.0, which isn't a bad thing because the Bodyguard 2.0, for being a 380, is one of the best, if not the best, tiny guns that I own and have ever shot. Really like what they did with this, and they probably just thought, well, we nailed that, let's just go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. Again, not a bad thing. This is a 9mm, and the only thing that I think they should have changed when they did this is making sure to add that texturing there in the middle. I think that's a huge miss, and I'm sad to see that they took that away because when your hand reaches around, the tips of my fingers touch right there, and there's nothing for it to grip onto. While we're still talking about the grip, let's go over the magazine. So for those of you that want the most concealability, you have a flush 13 rounder, which I think is a really good capacity, especially right now on the market. And then those of you that want a little extra, or if you want to carry an extra magazine with you with a Neo Mag, which is the way I always carry my extra magazine, is incredible for pocket carry and be able to quickly grab that magazine and use. You can now throw that 15 rounder in your pocket, have a total of 28 rounds, which I think is a great capacity of rounds to be able to carry with you. So the magazine compatibility between the two guns. So this is the magazine from the old Shield. This is the new Shield X. These mags are identical, although the base plates are different, and that is what's going to keep you from being able to take your old Shield mags and put them here in the new one. Obviously, I have this piece right here that you would have to take off, but it still will not fit. The Gap Man actually did this testing in one of his videos if you guys are interested in seeing the actual testing done, but these mags are identical. You would just have to change out the base plates. Now, I don't know if Smith & Wesson plans on just selling the base plates or you're going to have to upgrade your magazines, but to show you that they're the exact same, here is the X mag. That is going to fit and lock in just fine in your old Shield. The only reason this one doesn't is because the base plate is just a touch thinner here on the bottom than this one, so it needs to be a little bit thinner, so you will have to replace those. But the mags are identical in every other way other than that bottom piece. So now let's talk about the last difference with the frame, and that is going to be the pick rail up front. You're able to mount your flashlights on there, lasers, whatever you want. It's a lot better of an option than this one here where you have to buy one that's molded directly to it and then find a holster that fits that. This is easier because you can just have your TLR7s, which is what most people are running on these types of guns. It's an incredibly affordable light and a very, very proven light, and absolutely my go-to for any gun of this size is the TLR7. But you're able just to chuck that on there and you're good to go. So a really nice addition there that a lot of people have been asking, and honestly, I'm surprised it took them this long to make this change, but it is a nice change. A quick touch on the trigger guard. It is really large. I mean, that's a pretty big trigger guard. Obviously, they wanted it for gloved fingers. I would have liked to see them maybe do a little bit of an undercut here just because of how big that trigger guard is, but it's not a huge make or break. Not like it's something that's going to completely turn me off the gun, but just something that I would have liked to have seen. Other than that, everything else is the same. You have the ability to have a safety or a non-safety version. That is a personal preference. I usually carry non-safety. This is just the one they sent me. Now, going along with the texturing that they removed here, they did actually add the thumb index texturing right up there up front. They don't have it on this one. It was a gripe of mine when I made the video on this. They added it here on this one, which is what I like to see. I like having something to be able to put my thumb against when shooting. It just allows for better control. Wherever you can put more texturing to be able to put that grip and make it a little more solid is always a good thing. And as long as it's not too textured where it's really uncomfortable, which this is not, I can't really ever say it's a bad thing. All right, let's bump up to your slide. You have an optics cut for an RMSC, which is what a lot of people are running. It's kind of like your Hollow Sun footprint. They have new iron sights, they said, which to me look very, very similar. Still that U dot along with the black serrated with the tritium up front. It is usually people's most go-to iron sight, but they said they're a little bit different. And that slide is a big difference with that look of your Bodyguard 2.0. I think those serrations look really nice along with they actually function well. There's some guns where it's just like, okay, it looks good, but it doesn't really function well. They did a good job of doing both. It looks good on the gun, functions well. This whole gun looks really, really nice. And as that is not the most important thing, it is important. And people want to have a gun that looks nice. This one's kind of like a space gun. It looks a little goofy. I went a little crazy with that one. But this one, I think with the X version, Smith & Wesson did a really good job with the aesthetics of this gun. That is all the new changes here with the new X series of the Shield. Now the big thing is going to come down to, is it worth upgrading from your original Shield that you already have? Sometimes with these updates, there's not really a big change and it's not worth upgrading, but me personally, I think there's a big enough change and update from here with the new X series. It's definitely worth upgrading if you already have the SIG Plus and you want the best of the best, and that is this one right here with the upgrades that it has. Now, if you were like me and you kind of wrote off the Shield as a carry gun and you liked the gun, but you just didn't carry it like you did some of the other guns, I highly recommend you reconsider and at least give this one a chance. Go out to the range, pick one up, see if a buddy has one, or just go to a shooting range, try one, and see what you think. I think you're gonna really be surprised. I'm about 80% sure this is gonna be in my new concealed carry rotation. I really like the feel of this gun. The only reason I don't love this one right here, I'm not a big safety guy just because I don't train on it as much, so having to learn a new manual of arms to have to be able to get that safety down, maybe something that I don't want to carry, so I might end up picking up one without the safety and carrying it. But you take that safety off for me, this is absolutely making that rotation for a concealed carry gun for me, which is not something a Shield has been of mine in a really long time. I carried one at one time, and then I rotated out of it when I got into the Hellcats and the X Macros and the 43Xs. But this one is definitely going right back in and being a big contender for my next concealed carry gun. So now here's something really important for you guys to think about that I want to make sure just to mention. They are really big into carry comping everything And I absolutely love that they've done that. They just came out with a new Bodyguard 2.0 carry comp that I did a video on if you're interested in watching here. We have the M&P 2.0 carry comp. We have the Shield Plus carry comp. So for those of you that are like, oh, I really wish they would have done the carry comp for the Performance Center, be patient. I am positive that is coming. So if you're somebody that finds the carry comp Performance Center an absolute necessity and a must, I would wait if I were you. Now, if you're like, I really don't care, then I would just jump on this and get one because I am very happy with this gun. Again, have not shot nearly as many rounds as I want to. I've just gotten about 100 rounds through it so far. So in those 100 rounds, it's shot fine. I don't expect anything different. They didn't make a big difference. The Shield is already a very reliable and well-known gun. I don't foresee seeing any kind of weird things. I will obviously update you guys if anything changes, but this is starting to be a next gun I will be testing. But I'd love to hear your guys' questions, comments, concerns in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. And if you guys are looking to help out the channel and things I do, here's a couple ways to do that. Check out Howitzer Clothing. They donate 5% proceeds to charity, and they're incredible. And they have a Tactical Visor shirt, which is really cool. And they actually just redid it, and it's even better quality now. So I'm really excited about that. So I'd love for you guys to check that out. It should be linked somewhere down here. And then making sure that you guys go to my website, tacticalvisor.net. You guys can check out and sign up for my email list. We're going to be doing a bunch of email blasts off of that are really important. Other than that, I appreciate you all, and I like to do a Bible verse to end my videos. So I've been studying John, and this is John 16:33. These things I have spoken to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. And this is just a great peace of mind to know that we are going to have struggles here, especially as Christians, in trying to share his word. This week we've had a lot of tribulation, but it is reassuring to know that God has overcome the world, and we can have peace in that. And I would love to share and give you guys any more resources if you would like to. The biggest thing you do is just pick up a Bible and get into it, and God will do the rest. And be genuine about it and pray about it and ask for him to open your heart, and then reach out to some people that you know that might be able to help you out. I love you all. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.